entertainment.
This episode is sponsored by NatureBox, where you can order great-tasting, healthy snacks right to your door. Snack smarter in the new year with healthy and delicious treats like French toast granola. Support this podcast to get 50% off your first order. Go to naturebox.com and use promo code TMOS. That's naturebox.com, promo code TMOS.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oscar?
Yes?
How do you feel?
I feel great.
No symptoms of Ebola?
No.
Thank God. Thank God. I'm glad to see you're looking well. We're all looking well, but everyone is at least concerned about Ebola.
Yeah, it's topicality.
And some people more than others. Let's fire up the telephone. I appreciate you staying late here yesterday and wiring the telephone.
It was tough, man. Let me tell you.
It's the first rotary digital interface.
Analog to digital,
Ever
to
done.
analog.
Hopefully, we've got a good guest here that is really concerned and wants to talk about this.
Trump Tower.
Oh, is this Trump Tower?
This is Trump Tower. Can I help you?
Yes. May I speak to Donald Trump, please?
Moment, please.
Obviously, we called right to the tower. And,
Who's calling?
this is Oscar Santana and Rob Spiewak from the Mike O'Mara Show. We have a pre-scheduled interview.
Hold on a minute.
I don't know who that is.
I wonder what type of cigarettes he smokes.
It might be a troll, like his handler.
No, it's switchboard.
What is this? What is this in regards to, Mr. Speedback?
And who am I speaking to?
I'm Ronald.
Oh, hi, Ronald. We're gonna.
My name is Ronald. I work security for Mr. Trump.
Do you ever spin straw into gold?
What is this in regards to?
This is in regard to the Ebola virus.
The Ebola virus.
Yeah, we don't have it or anything. We want Mr. Trump's viewpoints on it. Yeah,
Please hold.
Thank you. This is Ronald.
Yeah, Ronald.
Works at Trump Tower. I guess like
I got your Rumpelstiltskin.
like a big switchboard. I'm guessing.
Pretty smart.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Well, Pony said it might
Mr.
be.
Spankak, who are you
This is
with?
Spiewak.
Who you with?
It's
Who you
Rob
representing?
Spiewak, Ronald. Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana with the Mike O'Mara Show.
What type of pro? Who are you affiliated
It's
with?
more broadcasting.
Mm-hmm. It's a
More broadcast.
lifestyle-oriented talk show.
Yes.
All right, please hold.
This is prearranged. We shouldn't have to jump through these hoops.
Are we a lifestyle show?
Well, I think that's probably what he wants
All
to
right,
hear.
Mr. Spank Attack, we will.
No, it's Spiewak.
We'll put you through to Mr. Trump.
Thank you very much.
Hold on.
Appreciate it. Very busy man. Spank Attack. That can't be right.
That can't be the first time you've been called that.
Well, no, but hello.
Hello, Rob.
Hey,
Ah, yeah.
Hello, Rob.
good to talk to you.
Hello, Oscar.
You got quite the firewall there.
Well, excuse me. I find it difficult to talk to as many people as I'm supposed to talk to, you know.
Is that why we had to talk to Ronald?
Ronald has been with me for many years. He's very good. He does a great job. I like Ronald. He's older. He knows me. He knows the systems, and he's a great security guard and a great phone screener when I need him.
So he works as security and as like a receptionist?
We're short-staffed today. My receptionist, Beverly, had a dentist appointment this morning, Rob, so I asked Ronald if he would man the phone, so that's why he's doing that this morning.
Does Ronald also drive your limo?
Well, Ronald works security for one of my buildings, one of my towers.
Oh, one of your many
One
towers.
of my towers, yes.
No, I'm glad.
I have many of them. But I'd like to say, I know you want to talk about Ebola, but I'd like to say I'm suing the corporations which I am no longer affiliated with to have my name taken off the buildings in Atlantic City, New Jersey. They're no longer associated with the Trump brand. I don't believe in those buildings. They've fallen into disrepair. The neon lights have been neglected. The toilets haven't been cleaned. The floors have not been scrubbed. Therefore, you will see the Trump name coming off the Trump Taj Mahal and also the Trump Plaza.
So, Mr. Trump, when you were in charge of the Taj and the Plaza,
yes, when I was in charge of the Trump properties in New Jersey, that was the heyday. That's when it was the hottest thing in town. That's when it was gorgeous. The buildings were fantastic. The people flocked in there. The entertainment was second to none. It was spectacular and good and fun and great and successful.
What about
and then
now,
when I
though?
took my when I no longer became involved with the businesses, of course they failed. Like every business that has ever not been associated with Donald Trump will eventually fail.
But businesses that are associated with you also fail while you're affiliated with them sometimes.
No. Only businesses fail when I'm no longer interested. If the Donald Trump brand...
Just interest is all it
if
takes?
Donald Trump is involved, there will not be... You can check my resume. I have never been personally and directly involved in a business that has failed in my entire life. I also have never been involved in any relationship that was ever a failure due to my fault. I have only been successful. And of course, you're jealous, and most people are, because of course I am the most successful man in the world, and talented and smart and good and nice.
Are you healthy?
I'm extremely healthy. As a matter of fact, I just went to my doctor a minute ago, and my doctor told me, he said, for a man your age, you are probably in the greatest health I've ever seen. I've never seen a more spectacular physical result, so I'm extremely healthy. That's, of course, why people are envious of my success and jealous, too.
Did the checkup that you just got, was it done by Ronald? Is he also your physician?
No, now see, you're making jokes because you're jealous, and I understand that, and I understand humor. I've had very successful television programs on networks that run comedies, so I understand. And I've also hired on my apprentice show some very funny people. Even Dee Snider of Twisted Sister was very funny when he was on my show. So I know comedy. I know jokes.
Mr. Trump.
Yes.
What's your
Yes, Oscar, go ahead. And incidentally, congratulations on your success. You're a model for your people.
Thank you. I appreciate
What does that even mean?
I don't know how to
What's
take that,
that?
but I'll take it.
What are
Well,
his people?
I think, Oscar Santana, who came to this country legally and is not massing on the border trying to subvert our laws and take jobs from people, did it the right way. And I salute you. Salute.
What's your association with the CDC?
The Centers for Disease Control.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter to the Centers for Disease Control saying, if you're bringing doctors back into the United States that have been treating patients with Ebola, you will cause the biggest plague in the history of mankind. I don't mind the doctors going over and doing what is good work. But when you bring them back after they've gotten the disease, that's their fault. I agree with the fact that we should shut down the borders and make sure they don't come back into the United States, where they could touch someone. They could they could take the peanuts that are served on the airplane and spread that through the entire plane. Then people would get. And what do people do when they get off a plane? They go to the restroom. So they go to the restroom. Another person goes. Do I have to explain this very complicated theory? In about an hour's time, you would have the Ebola virus in our schools and, being ingested by the milk that our children are drinking.
It sounds like you are very well versed in contagion. Did you ever discuss contagious diseases on The Celebrity Apprentice with Howard Mandel?
Howard Mandel is a wonderfully talented guy, but I call him Howie. He's great, and I would tell Howie that old routine he did where he blew into the surgical glove to make the big balloon animal on the top of his head. He might want to rethink that with all these infectious diseases going around.
Now, what is your opinion of Ebola itself as a disease?
I think it's a very successful disease. It's obviously had a tremendous run in Africa, and it would love to do that here, and it's up to us. It's up to us to stop that disease at the border before it gets too successful. Because what African country is not jealous of the United States of America?
Yeah, but it's
and I include the Ebola virus in that jealousy.
It's a global
as well.
economy.
Yeah, it
Pardon
is.
me?
It's a global economy.
It's a global economy, but unfortunately, we need to shrink that globe if we're going to get sick. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing an entire hazmat suit right now, and I'm in Trump Tower, far away from Africa and Ebola. But you won't see me taking a safari anytime in the near future, that's for sure.
What brand of hazmat suit is it?
Let me just check. I'm looking under here. All right, I'll break the seal for a second. The only one in the building with me today is Ronald.
Yeah, and he's well.
Let me take a look at that. Oh, here it is. Trump Success Hazmat Suits.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. And they'll watch the game. And it'll be as if they'd dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick, they'll have to brush them away from their faces. Evil will come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios, and we are heard worldwide. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 24 million downloads heard daily at MikeO'MaraShow.com and exclusively over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks!
Mike, put a new pin in your map of Iowa because we have a listener today from Kelowna, Iowa.
Kelowna?
Have you ever heard of it?
Wasn't there a old actor in the Bob Hope days named Jerry Kelowna?
Jerry Kelowna with the big eyes. Yeah, but
Wonder
this
if
is...
he got the name because of Kelowna, Iowa.
No, it's a different spelling. It's Brian Niffen, our KCJJ listener of the day.
Brian Niffen.
Hi, Niffen.
You know, when he used to get really crazy in front of his mom, she'd say, "Hey, Brian Niffen, what you been sniffing?"
I threw on some Kelowna this morning.
What's that?
I threw on some Kelowna this morning.
Kelowna. What a lovely Kelowna. Nice bouquet. Smells like a chrysanthemum.
I take my Kelowna with a wedge of lime.
The Mike O'Mara Show. That's Rob getting the last line in because Rob is in full celebrity show-off mode today.
Yeah.
He will have to be monitored, spray him, put water on him,
Get the trank
control
dart.
him. I will speak about that momentarily. It's not just being in the studio. It's the whole thing today. Rob's been out of his mind today.
That's me.
Crazy out of his mind.
Oh, yeah.
The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily podcast and radio show with the greatest listeners on the planet. Why?
How come?
Because they get it. Our show today is brought to you by Sleep Number Beds. As many of you know, the past couple of days, I've been very close to death. And if I did not have my Sleep Number bed, I think it might have been lights out time, to be honest with you. Because the only thing that would make me feel better would be my Sleep Number bed, because my Sleep Number bed cares about me. It loves me. If it could talk, it would tell me that it loves me, and I love it. And I was in it early again, watching television all day, being sick, and it was delightful. My sleep number setting is terrific. It is an 80. Carla's is an 85. And now they make the Sleep Number bed even better. Now, I told you about the Dual Air technology. The Dual Air technology really gives you your personalized support and comfort because you can try a variety of sleep numbers to make the perfect mattress for you. Well, now they have Sleep IQ technology that works with sensors inside the bed. There's nothing to wear, nothing to turn on. Just sleep. It monitors your sleep, and it optimizes your sleep. Remember, my setting's an 80. Carlos is an 85. Only one place in the world to find the Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology, and that is a Sleep Number store. I know a lot of people think that I have a very unusual relationship with my Sleep Number bed, but you will too. You'll fall in love with yours too if you get one. Come in right now where a C2 mattress with Sleep IQ technology starts at just $999.98, and that's a C2 Queen. No better sleep. Find your Sleep Number setting today at any of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. You can find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again is 800-511-0061. And don't forget to tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you. A very, very big day. This is not a big secret because we already laid it out there on social networking, but we are really, really, really excited to announce the brand new and start of the brand new Tony Perkins Show with Gary Stein. We're very happy. And Tony is here to make the big announcement, the formal announcement. That's right, he is getting out of his comfort zone and leaving that traditional world of successful broadcasting to risk it all.
That's right.
And dive into this bottom-feeding, last legs broadcast empire known as the More Broadcasting Network. Tony, welcome again to the show, and congratulations. I heard your show. I think you and Gary are fantastic, and you're going to do really, really well with this. And we're proud to have you. We went out and looked for you to get you. We tried to talk you into doing this. You finally said yes, and you said yes, I think 3.5, 4 years ago, and then the show has been in development ever since, and we're glad that you really finally got your crap together to put a show together. Tony.
Yes, you know what? I thank you for your patience. I thank you for the opportunity. This is. I told somebody earlier today, this is a labor of love. I'm so excited to be doing it, and it has been a blast.
That's because you're going to be paid in little kissy faces, little heart shapes.
Really?
That's all you're going to be getting. So it is a labor of love.
Right. Little star stickers on my forehead.
Exactly. Only if you're good.
Right.
So when Oscar and Rob have, Oscar and everybody behind the scenes, Oscar and Rob Ford, and been putting a lot of effort into getting this going. And I got a chance to hear the show. I talked to Oscar right away after that and said, "Wow, you have this wonderful chemistry with Gary Stein." And I think we're going to get Gary on the line in a second here. And I was just really, really thrilled. And then, then we go into the whole mode of graphics. And look, we pride ourselves on doing things the right way. I was thinking about it yesterday for a variety of reasons. I was thinking about what we've built here and the amount of time. I think you can look in Oscar's studio and realize how much time and care and effort is put in by Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana and Matt Bloom, Pony Boy.
Team. Yeah, the whole entire team.
Everybody does it, and really, but we take it seriously, and we give a damn. And so when we're going to launch a show, we make sure it's all the things are right for you, Tony. You do a great show. We established that. What, Oscar, over a month ago, right?
Yeah.
We knew that it was.
When he was walking out of here after his first test show, I called Mike, and I never told you this, Tony. I called Mike, and I said, wait till you hear this. There are shows as a broadcaster that you can walk out, and you're kind of on cloud nine because it was everybody was firing on all cylinders, but it's just right.
Yeah.
And every show I walk out of working with these guys, and I'm just pushing buttons at this point, I could see how much fun they're having, and it translates, and it's special.
Well, I got to tell you, we did the test show, and at the end of that, it's an hour long, an hour, 5 minutes, something like that. At the end of it, Gary and I just looked at each other with amazement, and we shook hands, and we said, this was a ball. This was fantastic. And then we all decided this is this is our first show. It was really designed to be a test and figure out the equipment, get used to it, and all that kind of stuff. But it worked. So it's the actual first show. You'll hear that. You can hear it now, as a matter of fact.
People should know. Can you give us a thumbnail of your past with Gary? Because you've got a storied relationship.
Yeah, Gary and I have been together for 15 years. I met Gary when I was at Good Morning America. He was my producer. So everything that I did at GMA, the live bits that I did, weather coverage out in the field, the interviews with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and Diana Ross, and Ringo Starr, and all of that stuff, Gary produced all of it. Now, Gary is a former actor, comedy writer, TV producer. He's worked for Fox, for ABC, obviously, for Fox News Channel. He was on the Dr. Oz show for a period of time. So he's been around for a long time, but he is one of the funniest people I've ever met. And when
I don't like him, Tony. I really, you're very kind, but well, let's get him on the line right now. And it's what I was going to talk about is putting the graphics up. Rob was the first one today, and Rob, of course, was the first one to put the graphic up. We were going to have a coordinated attack, but Rob Spiewak was.
There was no coordination. Oscar said,
now,
"Do
Oscar,
it before you go to work."
Yes.
Is that what it was? Do
Yeah,
it
that's
before
what
you
it
go to
was.
work.
That's what it was.
So I did it. I see Rob, and I just kind of did the Napoleon thing. I said, okay. And then I put mine up, and then Rob sent me an email like, that's not the right one. put up the right one. And so I put up the right one, and then it was just, I don't know. It just drives me nuts sometimes.
But, all of that is very appreciated by us, and we feel loved, which is wonderful. And, because to do something like this, it is a risk. A lot of these types of shows fail, and you want it to go well. And
Not
you
on our
need to
network.
No, I know, and I know that. And, that's
no,
why
nobody fails on our network.
Well,
as long if you deliver the content, we'll keep you on. I mean,
Well-
we have Rob and Joe on this network. We'll,
How dare you?
we'll
but the launch is important, and it was.
It is.
It takes time. I know people have been waiting for the show. It took me when you first asked. I knew, yes, I want to do this. But then, honestly, there were months of trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do? What's the show going to be?
You've always wanted to do. You have a background in radio.
Yes, I do.
You've produced for Donnie Simpson. You've been on the radio for a long time yourself. You've done stand-up comedy. You've always, since we have been speaking to each other, once we had our careers, you have always told me that you want to do this type of thing.
Listen,
this is what you want, and I'm glad we gave you a chance.
I have a great career going on. It's been I've been very fortunate. Pardon me, ABC, coming back to Fox, doing the news thing. And it's wonderful.
Did anybody
and I
check
appreciate
Tony
it.
for Ebola before he came?
Yeah,
I know.
I'm a little choked up. It's a big
Okay,
day.
all right.
So all of that is great. It's still going on, but this is my love, and this is coming back. A couple of people have tweeted me and reached me on email and said, people who've known me for a long time, so glad you're going back to your roots. This is my roots, comedy and radio broadcasting, and this is what I want to do. I'm very excited to be doing it, and I thank you all for the opportunity.
Well, let's bring your broadcast partner in here. Let's bring in Gary Stein, and Gary's up in New York now. And Gary, is he up in New York? I don't know where he is. Where are we
New
calling?
Jersey.
No. You know what? You should at least know where I am. I'm in New Jersey, and I'm so excited to be on. But I just heard everything he said, and it was so cloying. I mean, I think he meant it, but I mean, I just feel personally like that was kind of over the top. Tony.
No,
really. I mean, you're so excited and all that.
I
I'm
am.
excited. But you know what I was going to say? I was going to say I'm on cloud 9. But that's a really old expression. And how come people never say they're on cloud 8?
There you go. That's
what
the
is
kind of
wrong?
comedy you can expect on the Tony Perkins and Gary Stein show.
I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to jump right in like that, but you never hear about cloud 1 through 8. They're probably good clouds.
They were failures. They were failures. Those were the
No.
test clouds. They were test
Well,
clouds.
all right. They might have been the test clouds, but I bet there's a cloud 10, and nobody has ever gone to cloud 10, and he's probably thinking, I'm fun. I'm a good cloud.
I'm a good cloud.
Well, this is Gary, and Gary, you have been a producer, and incidentally, the skip back is just a true. Yeah, can you write it for me when I'm doing this? That would be fantastic, Rob. Gary, my question to you would be: you've produced for Tony at Good Morning America. You've also done stand-up comedy, and tell us a little bit more about yourself. I want to hear the world of Gary Stein for people that are going to listen to the Tony Perkins difference in
The
Gary Stein.
first thing is I was born a poor black child in Harlem. But when I was 13, I was bar mitzvahed, and I became a white Jew with a fairly substantial but attractive nose. And,
is that what happens when you're bar mitzvahed?
For everyone, yes. You wouldn't know about that.
No, I wouldn't.
Rob, was that Rob? Was that Mike?
That was Mike.
Hi, Mike. Hello.
Hi,
Mike,
Gary.
Mike,
how are you?
You're the big. I am so good. I am so good. You are the big boss, and I'm so excited. And I'm in awe of you because you're, But I'm look. You know what? Already, I'm reading the room, and I'm feeling the love, and I can feel in my heart that this is probably a really good time to ask you for a raise.
Right.
Now, am I right about that? Was I on cue with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'll give you all the particular numbers, and you can make those phone calls this afternoon. I feel like I'm talking to an 83-year-old Catskills comic right now. That's really it.
You are so
You're
nice.
close.
I have not brought up Shecky Green or Topo Gigio or anything
Topo
like that.
Gigio! Topo Gigio makes me smile. I love Topo Gigio. Gary, you are in New Jersey, but you have been producing. How did you get involved with producing at Good Morning America? Because I'm kind of curious, and I know a lot of people would like to know how behind-the-scenes people that work for network television. How did that start for you?
I have to tell you something. This has been a very long and very schizophrenic career because I pretty much just said yes to every great adventure. I knew when I was 13, I said 13 before, but this is a different reason. I knew at 13 and maybe before that I was going to be an actor. I was only going to be an actor. And I started doing summer stock at 13 as an actor, and I told my parents this is what I was going to do, and they weren't that upset because my mother's an artist and my father wanted to be an actor, but in those days, I guess if your father told you were going to get into the plumbing business, you just said yes. So he did.
Can I just say something? Gary,
If
unless you started producing at Good Morning America at 15, this is going to be a very long story.
I know. Jesus Christ. He's going back to 13. Thank you, Tony. God almighty. All of a sudden, it was like plumbing business. I'm like, do we have 7 hours for this interview? And he's not even the headliner on the show, for God's sake.
No, he's a featuring, Mike. He's a featuring.
He's a featured performer. All right, go ahead, Gary.
No,
yes.
that's not true. The show was called The Gary Stein Show, sometimes with Tony Perkins.
Yeah, I've been showing him different graphics, guys. So, Gary.
No, listen, I was going to go every other year. Listen, I'm going to speed this up. I just want to say that from 13 to 35, I had some diversions in there. I stage managed 5 shows on Broadway, and then I decided to go to L.A. to just pursue the acting because everybody in New York knew me as a stage manager. I kind of messed it up for myself. But then, I did every episodic TV show out there, and guest starred on stuff. And I realized one day a living might be nice because you get a job every 3 months, and you get all excited. It revs you back up, and you think you should stay in.
Gary,
well, I'm getting a little bit out of this early part of the interview. Let me ask you this, Gary Stein, who is co-host with Tony Perkins on the Tony Perkins Show with Gary Stein. Let me ask you this. I'm getting a sense of your career here. Did you, at what age, was it the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, did you become aware that you wanted to be on stage in front of the camera, but people were continuously making an attempt to push you behind the scenes? When did that happen?
Well, I always wanted to be to be in front of the camera. I always wanted to be a performer. I started out that way, acting classes, everything. But really, with a family, I moved into writing and producing, and started that in L.A. Came back to New York to help launch the FX network, and wound up, producing a season of Hot Off the Grill with Bobby Flay. And when that was over, I got a phone call from a very good friend of mine.
I got to stop you right there because I'm a star guy when it comes to the Food Network people. I always like to know. So, Bobby Flay, please tell me, dick or not a dick?
Oh, can I...
He's having so much trouble with this answer.
Yeah, he's really working it.
That's our answer.
No one is more impressed with Bobby Flay than Bobby. No.
There you go. God bless you. I knew it. Way to confirm it.
here's the only good thing he ever said to me, because I was the senior producer and did a season, and I never did a strip show before, which means you do like 4 shows a day. But I've never been qualified for any job I've ever had. I always had to learn the job on the job. It's just been my whole life. So he never said anything nice, but we were doing really well. And then I got the job at Good Morning America, which I'll tell you more about. And
if we have time,
I got a phone call at GMA from Bobby, and he said, "Hey, jerk," which is the nicest thing he ever called me. He said, "I just want you to know it took 3 people to replace you." And he was upset because I didn't want to sign on for the next season because I got a 3-year deal at Good Morning America to work with
so that's
Tony,
a nice thing. So he said that's a very nice compliment, but it's nice to know that you consider him an a-hole. Let's take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk with Tony and with Gary. And I want to, if we can, guys, can we reminisce about the Good Morning America days a little bit?
Yeah.
Are you guys up
you
for
better
that?
Believe
Yes.
it.
Okay,
now
we'll
you
do
need
that.
the 7 hours. Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back and do that. That'll be a lot of fun when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
This is Katie, and I would love it if you listen to the Cake and Cookies Show. No, really, please listen. I need an actual reason for spending all this time with Rob. Nobody really wants to spend time with Rob, but I'm fun enough for both of us. Listen to Cake and Cookies. You'll love half of it. My half. Every Wednesday at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Part of the More Network.
It's really her voice.
It is.
It really is. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Encore Insurance Services. This podcast has no better friends than the good people at Encore. Fantastic supporters from way back, and they can help you out, too. If you're out there shopping insurance, you know how hard it is to know which company offers the best value. Encore Insurance can help. Encore surveys the most highly rated companies in the insurance industry to compare premiums. Encore does all the work, so you don't have to. It's free. There's no obligation and no salesman will visit you. Oscar Santana used Encore, and you should too. Just call toll-free at 866-347-5748 to get a free life insurance quote, or visit smartterm.com. That's SMARTTERM.com. That's where you'll find the license disclaimer and quality customer service. Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Check them out for us, but mostly for yourself. Stop paying too much for life insurance. Protect your family the smart way at smartterm.com. Welcome back to the show. We're here with Tony Perkins of the Tony Perkins Show, which is going to be debuting. Is it tonight, Oscar? Is that when it's debuting?
It's up right now, Mike.
It's up right now.
Yeah,
hallelujah.
You can get
it is up right now.
Let me just be clear here. If you are a fan of this show, you're going to be a fan of the Tony Perkins Show. Check it out at TonyPerkinsShow.com or on iTunes. Give it a nice 5-star review.
Please.
Write something kind about the program. That will help people discover the show. That's the way it works.
The fact of the matter is, this world of podcasting that we all live in, everybody is selecting their own entertainment, and they're getting their niche, and they're figuring out what they like, and we really have an idea of what we want to put up on the network in addition to our show, and we are thrilled that Tony agreed to do this, and that Tony was able to reconnect with his former producer from Good Morning America, Gary Stein, who is a brilliantly funny guy. And I absolutely love the show. The chemistry, it is about chemistry when you're in a little room, whether it's a radio show, doing a talk show, or doing this. It's about chemistry. And the fact is, this is one of the only worlds where you can really find it now, as far as to avoid the usual bloviating that goes on regular radio. And we're thrilled to be able to have a lot of these collaborative efforts, and we're happy with Tony. And my advice to you, Tony, was really, with this guy, Gary Stein, good luck getting a word in edgewise.
Well, let me say something about Gary and about this whole thing. When people have asked me about what the show is about, I've said, well, it's a comedy and entertainment show, but it really is about Gary and I's relationship. Gary and I had the opportunity to work together for 7 years at Good Morning America. Literally from the first hour that I met him, we had a connection. I had to interview Gary. It feels funny now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I remember so well.
We're good friends, but he had to come to my office at Good Morning America and interview with me, because I was considering different people for the position of producer, my dedicated producer. And within an hour, he's affable, he's funny, he's charming, and I just thought, wow, this is the guy. And I had some other people in mind, one other person in particular that I wanted to hire, and Gary just, he was the guy. So we did this 7-year run. GMA was great. It was fantastic. Great opportunity. got to meet some cool people, do some cool things. But it was also very difficult. Could be some very heavy down moments, as you will have in network TV. And Gary and I went through all of that. We were thick as thieves. We saw each other more than we saw our wives during that period of time. We traveled the world. And we had some very high highs, very low lows, but it was our senses of humor that kept us going. And to this day, that is the basis of this friendship. And it's a funny friendship, and that's what translates on the show.
All right, let me ask Gary a question here. I'm going to give you a chance to say something. I'm running the show, Gary. I want to make that real clear. Gary, let me ask this question. This is a question of you. What would be the number one thing in your mind, in your opinion, the misconception or the one thing people might not be aware of about a network morning news show? What is something that would surprise all of us? And it can be either in front of the camera, behind the scenes. What's something that would, give me a little nugget that people might not know about the good old days of Good Morning America.
Sure. I think that the most surprising thing is that you would probably assume that we get up early. So we got up, Tony and I, we didn't sleep together, but we got up separately at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we had to be on the set at 5:15. We had a production meeting with Diane Sawyer, Charlie Gibson, and our executive producer. And so the day started incredibly early. And then we would do the show from 7 to 9. And all of my friends used to say to me, boy, do you have it easy. When at 9 o'clock, you're done. You just get to go home. And I thought, are you out of your mind? This is 2 hours of live TV a day, which is like shoveling coal into a furnace. It burns it up, and you've got to create tomorrow's show. Mm-hmm. So really, at 9 o'clock, a whole different day began, right, Tony?
Yeah.
It was just,
Literally,
I think
we would go from the studio, which was in Times Square, back up to our offices on the Upper West Side, and have a full day of preparing for the next show, figuring out what we were going to do next week, and all that kind of stuff.
What was your average time, Tony, getting in the rack in those days? What was that? I mean,
because
we all did morning radio as far as going to bed, Tony.
Okay.
I forget sometimes you're a real anchor man. Okay, getting into
I'm sorry. Did you say getting into the rack?
Getting into
the rack. The rack. It's a term that's used for beds. For the love of God,
I would go to bed at about 10 o'clock.
That's late.
It was too late. Yeah,
that's 4 to 5 hours a night.
That was
that's
about
not,
5 to 6 hours. It wasn't enough.
That would really.
But
be
it's hard to go to bed. It's hard to go to bed at 7:30 or 8 o'clock.
That's tough. Yeah. What about you, Gary? When would you turn?
Everybody told me that don't worry about when you go to bed, because as you do the show, the attrition rate is going to start backing you up. You'll probably go to bed around 8 o'clock. I watched the news at 11 almost every single night and fell asleep somewhere around 11:30 and got up at 4. And the best thing about the job, though, as I was exhausted all the time, but the best thing about the job is if Tony and I weren't on the road, and we weren't covering like Katrina, a hurricane, or interviewing Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young in San Francisco, people would say to me, "Oh man, you probably never see your kids," and I said, "I see my kids more than you do, because I'm home like 5 o'clock maybe. I was the t-ball coach. I got involved in scouting with my other son. I will not back and regret the time I didn't spend with my children, because I spent a ton of time with them. It's just that I was always tired."
Right. Yeah.
And as far as I know, Tony wants this as a creative outlet, but as far as you're concerned, Gary, is this something? I know you've done some stand-up, you've done acting, you were talking about your behind-the-scenes work as well. But is this something? You've been aware of, the podcasting world, this type of thing, doing a talk show of this kind?
Absolutely. And the truth is that I want this to be what I do for a living. I produced. I had good times. It was never what I really wanted to do. I always knew that I was a performer. And when Tony and I had a talk show at ABC, when we were doing Good Morning America, we did an on-camera talk show for 2 years. It was on ABC News Now. We had 7 viewers. And they are still trying to grow that network, and I think now they probably have 15 people who watch it. But what we got was we had this experience of doing this show together, which was an epiphany for me, because I always thought of myself as an actor, and I realized doing this with Tony, my best friend. Really, he's my best friend.
That's great.
I said, you know what? You're not an actor. You're a talk show host.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Gary,
it's all improvised.
let me say this. Gary and I, we don't give each other a break, as you all know. And from when you listen to the show, you'll really see that. But Gary is a natural performer. I've seen very little of Gary's acting. He was on, by the way, he was on Remington Steele. Remember that show? He had a speaking part on Remington Steele. Wow. But Gary is a natural performer. He and I have done some speaking engagements together. Gary used to, I won't say warm up the crowd at Good Morning America, but he would spend time with the crowd before I came downstairs. And Gary is a natural performer, and he's had a successful career, but I think he would say himself there's been some frustration there. I've had the great pleasure of being able to work with him when we did Stealing Scenes. That was the name of the show at ABC News Now. It was he and I at the desk. Again, it was our relationship. We would interview people and do segments, but it was Gary performing. And now we get to do it again with the podcast. He is a natural. This is what he should be doing.
Cool. That's good. I'm looking forward to it. Before we let you guys go, I want to play a little word association about Good Morning America, okay? Now, in the days that this is just a word. I just want one word. I'll mention a name, and both of you can give me one word. Tony, you can kick it to Gary because there's a little skip back for me here. Okay. So let me see. Rob, the cast of Good Morning America. You got your
Diane Sawyer.
You got your Gibson.
Right?
Charlie
Gibson. Did you overlap with Gene Shalit? No, that was the Today Show.
No,
that's the Today Show.
Joel Siegel.
Joel Siegel was your movie guy.
Now that's so weird you mentioned him. He was in a dream I had last night.
Was it a sexy dream?
No, it was not.
So we got Siegel, we got Gibson, we got Sawyer, and then Spencer Christian. Was he there
Christian?
at all?
I replaced Spencer Christian.
Okay, all right.
But I met him.
Okay, very good. We're gonna word association, and hopefully, Gary, did you bump into all these people that we mentioned? So will you be able to play the game?
Bump, yeah, I'm more than bump. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, very good. Here we go. Word association. Let's start with Spencer Christian, the guy you replaced. Tony Perkins, go ahead.
Nice, sweetheart.
Nice. So boring. Gary.
Very funny, and is the king of bad jokes.
Yeah,
wow.
that's true.
The king of bad jokes.
Do you know it's actually the first Christian that Gary ever met?
Okay.
Can I say one thing about Spencer Christian really quick?
Yes, go right ahead. Yes.
I now believe part of the reason I was hired is because he and I resembled each other so much.
Really?
And yeah, for the first 2 years
that makes me laugh. Am I the only one? What's the matter, guys? I'm the only one that laughs at that. Am I the one that has to say? Are you going to point the racist finger at me because I laugh at that? You know, he's the light-skinned black guy. Is that what it is? What's going on?
I honestly believe that was part of the reason. I really do. I didn't know that then, but I think that now. But he's a very sweet guy. For the first 2 years I was at Good Morning America, I would be on the set. Charlie and Diane would say, and now here's Tony Perkins with the weather. I would do the weather. They would say, thank you, Tony. I would turn to the crowd and they would say, Spencer, can I have your autograph? That is true.
70 years later, people still talk to me and say, what was it like producing Spencer? And I would say, I have no idea. I produced Tony.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Okay, next person on the list. Let's go to Charlie Gibson. We got two more to go. Charlie Gibson. Tony?
Charlie, do I have to give a one-word answer? Or can
Please.
One-word answer? Smart.
Okay. Gary?
Dad.
Oh wow.
Good.
That is so nice.
That's good.
He is the epitome of Father Knows Best.
Yeah.
Everybody would go to that man. And he was absolutely authentic.
And Gary,
that's so good to hear.
Charlie was very kind to me. He took me under his wing. He gave me advice. He was great.
All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end up with the last name here. And let me see here. I've got my sheets. It says, oh, yes, Diane Sawyer. Let's play word association. Tony Perkins, Diane Sawyer.
Tricky.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Gary, would you like to weigh in on that one?
Overboss.
Overboss.
Wow.
Is that a word?
Well, okay, I think we'll leave it there. That's good.
Supreme power, my friend.
You know what? That's why you're going to listen to the Tony Perkins Show with Gary Stein, because you're going to actually probably get some more answers, and I would send them mail and see if we can get to the bottom of those horrible one-word descriptions of Diane Sawyer.
Very tricky.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
She's
Tony, Gary,
tricky.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank
I hope
you.
you have a tremendous blast doing the show. I hope you have fun, and we're excited to listen to it, okay?
Thank you very much. Thanks
Thank
for the
you so
opportunity.
much.
We are thrilled.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's amazing. I can't wait.
Gary, you're a funny guy. I'm excited about it, and both of you, good luck. We'll take a break, come back with more on the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody.
Had you gone, you knew in time we'd meet again, for I had told you.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment brought to you by our Amazon page. Is this a new one, Rob?
I don't know.
Oh, it is. I just realized Rob gave me another present today. This is exciting. A midweek present. I'm surprised. All right, I will read the Amazon commercial as written. Oscar always wants us to do a very legitimate approach to Amazon.
Yeah, Oscar wants you to go and buy a Kindle. So please buy a Kindle, okay?
Kindle Fire.
To quote the great Frank Sinatra, it's very nice to go traveling, but it's oh so nice to come home. Good heavens, I'm so glad to be back home in Florida and surrounded by all the things I love. And by the way, all the Florida things I love are available at Amazon.com through the TMOS portal. When I think Florida, I think citrus. So why not click our Amazon link for delicious orange juice? Whether it's Tropicana, Welch's, Ocean Spray, Blueberry, Langer's, Donald Duck, or Juicy Juice. Amazon has all of your juice favorites. Plus, Tang. Astronauts drink it. Not to mention annoying orange merchandise. Orange duct tape. Orange is the new black in paperback. Now Foods Sweet Orange. Now Foods Sweet Orange Oil?
Yes, that's a good product. If you
There's
need
a
the orange
brand
oil.
called Now Foods?
Now Foods. It's very now.
Now Foods Sweet Orange Oil. Orange golf balls. Nature's Miracle Oxy Orange Formula. Medicine for Lyme disease. And virtually every Jack Lemmon movie ever made. Orange, you glad that we have MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon?
No.
Amazon has everything to make your home and your office just like Florida, except meth. Whether it's pickles, paper, obscure silverware, K-cups, corn cob holders, dental retainers, doilies, personal lubricant, or the Hummel figurine that you've always wanted. If you need it, Amazon has it, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. The best way to save money and support this show. Please remember to bookmark Amazon at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Thanks, Lucy Face. I mean, Lucky Face.
Lucky Face.
Lucy
Sorry.
Face.
Lucy
I
Face
don't
based
know.
on the motion picture, I guess.
Jesus, wow.
Lucy.
That's quite a little I love having people in. I truly do. But having the, I would have loved to have Gary here. It was so, I have to go behind the scenes. I'm not professional enough where I can maintain it. I am hearing this bounce back when I'm talking to Gary.
Right.
And Gary is a guy that is very verbose and very funny. And I'm excited about the show. But it was like, I felt like I was in some sort of
considering
weird
all the
acid
moving
trip.
parts, you guys did a great job because the timing is tough, especially when you're on the phone. You don't know each other. He's got Tony here. It worked out really well. I was pretty impressed.
At any point, did you think that you were given a medication that disagreed with you?
Was Rob Ford did we send Rob Ford to New Jersey for this?
No.
No.
Rob Ford is in
Scared
studio.
me for a second. Okay,
No.
he's in studio.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Stein made the trip to D.C. from Jersey.
Okay, but Mr. Stein was in Jersey today.
Yes.
Right,
He
exactly.
comes
Okay.
into town to record the shows.
That's cool. All right, and those guys, the more they get on and the more they get into it, I really tried to go there. We didn't have a lot of time, but I'd like to get the behind-the-scenes story.
Yeah.
What was the Overboss?
Overboss and Tricky.
Was dying.
Tricky?
Tricky and Overboss.
Really
That's-
not the word that jumps to mind, is it? No.
No, not a chance. Well, welcome back to the show. Well, we're so happy. Tony's an old friend of mine, and it's a thrill. I'm very, very proud of what we've put together. We've done it slowly, and who knows what will pop up on the network next, but we don't do it. We don't take it lightly. We actually pay attention to it, and we want the shows to be good. And a lot of people have mentioned Mickey Coachella, and Mickey's coming back hopefully with new shows. But to be honest with you, folks, we put them up on the network not necessarily because we know when the content's going to be delivered and how it's going to be delivered. We put them on because of the talent level,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the talent level with a guy like Mickey Coachella.
I spoke to him.
I'm not my brother's keeper with Mickey, but the fact is, I love the guy. I think he's incredibly funny, and I know he's great on the podcast.
He reached out, actually, without any doing on my part this past weekend and said, I took a summer hiatus. I'll be back in the fall for the new fall lineup.
Oh, I'm looking forward to the Mickey Coachella Back to School special.
Yeah.
All right, and you know what? We have support Mickey 1,000%.
He's the best.
Tell him if he doesn't produce a show in the fall, he's off the network. Thank you. That's it. Just wanted to make that real clear. So yesterday, I am medicated today. Thank you. I am medicated. Hallelujah.
Yay.
I went to see the gastroenterologist. Yes. Yes, there's nothing better than going to see the gastroenterologist. Now,
I feel you, Mike. I feel you.
I'm brand new here with the doctor situation, so I go online to find the guy, and I find, you do the top docs, and you read, and you find as much information as you can, and I got real lucky that it was one of those group practices, and the guy that I read the credentials, and the credentials blew me away. This guy was an egghead. This guy was top of his class. This guy was a very significant medical brain that I was going to see yesterday.
I know you don't want to drop names, but I think I know who you're talking about. Is it Mehmet Oz?
Yeah, that's right. No, he only used his first name, okay?
What was it?
P-H-I... No, so anyway, the thing is...
It was a Dr. Phil joke, Oscar.
Phil?
Phil Connors?
Did you get that when I did the PHI, Oscar?
No, I didn't get it.
No. He's getting a skip back.
Sorry.
So I don't want to give the guy's name, but I don't want to tell you where he was educated. But he was educated at prestigious universities, both overseas and here in the United States. And
VCU.
Phoenix. It was real cool to go. So this is what happens to me. I'm just going to really validate what I have. I know what I have. I've had it before. I know what it is. I know how to take care of it. You take a little course of antibiotics, and usually it calms right down within 24 hours, which it already, let me check. Yes, it already seems to be doing. Yes, I'm feeling
look
much
at
better.
you
Thank
with
you
the
very
happy
much.
butt.
But the it's
God.
not the butt.
I know, but
it's
Mike,
not.
I'm just
Let me
speaking
make it
in
real
broad
clear.
terms.
Hold it, Mr. Ulcerative Colitis. You are the butt.
No,
I
I'm
am,
not.
I am
not.
the
I'm
intestinal
colon.
tract.
By very definition, colitis
But
has
why
to do
do
with
you
the
say
colon.
butt, but no
Because
blood
it's
comes out of my
easy.
butt?
I know. Well, you know what? Maybe someday, Mike, if you're good.
If I keep
We
trying.
all have goals.
If you wipe really hard.
Yeah.
So gross.
God, that is so nasty.
Jesus.
No, but
he doesn't
my-
do gross well.
No,
Oh, my God.
Actually, I'm probably the best at it, and that's the problem. No, you see, it is though. It's close
Making
to
me
your
wanna
butt,
throw up
and I'm
now.
just trying to keep it, folksy.
It's an
for the
abdominal,
listeners.
lower abdominal thing.
Right,
It's
it's
a-
close
that's
to
where
the
the
not,
pain
it's
is.
not from doing too many sit-ups.
No, it's not from
That's
doing
what you
too
make
many
it sound
sit-ups.
like when you say lower abdominal pain.
Now, wouldn't you
Well,
rather me
that's
be
where the
gross
pain-
than him be a dick?
Well, look, you have a, yeah, we were here at 9 o'clock, Mike. We were here at 9 o'clock, Mike. What a dope. I'm sitting there before the show. Nobody connects with me. I didn't connect with you guys. I assumed because you guys called me yesterday that I was going to be, calling, that you were going to be calling
as
me
a
today.
rule, Mike-
I'm sitting there. Tony's sitting in the studio. It comes in. We were here at 9 o'clock. Like I just waltzed in at a minute before 11 going, hello, my hair's done. I'm ready to do the show now.
As a rule, if we use the previous weeks as a template, you usually say anybody there or ready
Or
or
hello.
something. Yeah, so we're waiting on you.
That'll be the template. Continue that to be the template.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fine. I'm comfortable with
Cool,
that. That's
cool.
fine. I was confused. I've been a little under the weather.
And there's been a lot of plates spinning today. No one is at fault. It was a misstep.
Yes.
That will not
So-
happen again.
I go yesterday you know what? The thing is, right after the show, I said to myself, this is how I feel about doctors. I hate them. I don't like to go.
Right.
And I really feel sometimes like it's totally unnecessary. So after the show was over, I was like, I still hurt a lot, but I said, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have made this appointment. But Carla said, you always feel like that. We're
Yep.
going. And then right before we were going, I felt a lot of pain and like it was maybe bouncing back a little bit, and that's the way this kind of stuff goes. So I went to this doctor. Yes, Oscar said.
I was just doing some rough Santana math, and as I sit here, a man who hates doctors, I think, if I recall correctly, you've been to the doctor 5 times since you moved to Florida,
more than that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably more than that.
But you know what? To be fair, Oscar, he's never enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, probably 5, maybe 6.
A solid 5 or 6.
Maybe a solid 5.
I
solid
think
5.
6 if you repeat. You had a couple repeat visits with the Mel Brooks doctor.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I've been, when you get decent insurance for the first time,
Yes.
I'm paying a lot of money for my insurance, so I want to, use what
So
if
I'm gonna
something's
be
wrong.
sick, damn it.
I'm going to be sick as much as I want. So I go to this guy, and I'm glad I did because I'm still feeling the pain, but I am totally intimidated. And so
Based on
when
his resume.
His resume is incredible.
Right.
And he ran all these different departments, and he's got this incredible education resume that's blowing me out of the water. He walks in. Carla's not there. She's waiting out in the waiting room. I said, I'll handle this on my own.
Wow.
Yes.
And she
Hello,
said, go ahead,
doctor.
Alec Baldwin.
Hi, doctor. So he comes walking in, and he looks just like his picture online.
Which is, can you give
was
us a celebrity?
Huh?
Can you give us a celebrity just so we know?
Oh, man. Who was the guy
Yes.
who he has hair like let me see. The guy, is it Robert Wool? Is that
Yes,
the name
he
of the
was
guy?
in Batman. He
He's
played the
got-
reporter in Batman, and he was
It's
Arliss.
Robert Wool with lighter and thinner hair.
So he has Arliss with less hair.
Little bit, yeah, a little less hair.
Good looking
and
man.
maybe
then.
with a little young Mel Brooks thrown in there too.
all the
right?
doctors look like Mel Brooks.
And
too.
he's got the tude
yeah, of
of
course
the
he
brilliant
does.
doctor. He's
Well,
got the
doctors are like that.
And so he comes in and he's got a little accent and he says, "Hello, how are you? Just checking. Let's see what's so what seems to be the problem?" And I go, "Poop."
Oh, no.
I walked out of there. He gave me the right medicine. I think I'm going to be fine. But I walked out of there saying, I in no way really communicated the problem. We ended up talking about Ebola over in Africa. We started talking about Maine. I was socializing with him, and I'm realizing I'm there going, he's just such a smart man, so much smart. I envy doctors. I've always told you.
True.
Get me to a cocktail party. I will speak with the surgeon, the airline pilot, and the cop. Those are the three professions that I have a tremendous amount of curiosity about. And I was that way with the doctor. I'm like, here's what I think.
Do you
I'm
think
going to
he'll
try
be
to
back?
impress you with my smarts too, doctor.
But do you think you'll be back to him?
Well, I hope not. I hope I don't have to go. But
Well,
you know.
but would you?
No,
if-
this is not. It's not recurring. This is you have to
but
realize.
you just go back for another interview, like another visit.
Yeah, you could
just
prepare
go back
10 talking points that you'd like to speak to him on. And
I brought you some homemade bread. I brought you some homemade bread.
My ass
doctor.
hasn't
No.
felt better, Doc.
No, I admire people with that kind of training and education and that kind of professional achievement. So I haven't been around it my whole career. I've been around a bunch of mooks.
after you talked to him about Maine and Ebola, did you get the impression he was feeling socially awkward and wanted the visit to end?
No. There is the big surprise.
Okay.
The conversation came easily, and the conversation was quite rewarding. And I got the impression that at the very end, it was kind of a little frustration point that he had to go on to his next appointment.
Oh,
because
he
I
didn't
think-
want to leave you.
I think he liked the portly 55-year-old in room 1A. Thank you.
Maybe you
Thank
could.
you very much.
Then maybe what you need is not a doctor-patient relationship. Maybe he's looking to socialize.
I don't think so. I think that's out of my league. I don't think that.
Oh, I disagree. Do you know what the
No.
doctor doesn't say when I go to the cocktail
I've
party?
I have socialized with doctors throughout my career. I've hung with doctors and stuff. There are certain doctors that that you hang with, and certain.
Yeah, but
I'm
Rob
pretty
has
much
a
a
point.
bone doctor
No,
guy.
Rob-
I hang out with the orthopedic guys.
Rob has a point, though. You're looking to make friends. Maybe
Yes.
a busy guy like that is so intimidating that he needs a guy with with a big personality to be friends with.
Exactly. When he goes to the cocktail party, Mike, he's not looking for other doctors. He's looking for the disc jockey.
Let's pal around, pal.
You could say, perhaps you don't know this, doctor, whatever your name is, but I'm something of a noted entertainer.
Set another important.
I told him what I did. I told him what I
Of
did. for
course
a
you
living.
did, and you smiled
Yeah.
when you said it. Because
Well, it's always so frustrating because you have to really kind of give the whole picture.
You have to
and
explain
the
it,
whole picture
yeah.
is one of just abject failure. Where you just you've gone from the highest mountain and whittled it down to now I do it from the basement of the
Yeah,
science.
Radio
building.
New
Thank
York
you very
City, I
much,
have
Doctor.
done it. Sure. Radio in
But I
Washington,
don't.
D.C., I
I'll
have
tell
done
you,
it.
and this is the truth. And maybe I'm blowing smoke up my own behind right here, but I'm going to tell you this. I don't feel that way. You know how I feel?
How?
I feel as though bigger things are on the way, and I mean for this show. I believe that this show and shows like Tony, the people joining this little deal are in the know, and I think we are becoming more successful, and we are going to become more successful. So I'm very, very happy. And I look at Rob, and I look at his behavior, and his head goes to the right and left. Rob, do you believe the same thing?
Of course I do.
Okay, very good.
Do you think I would hitch my wagon to a failure, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you.
You'll hitch your wagon to anybody that says, "Here, come on, come along."
Well, all I hope is this, Mike. I wish you a whole bunch of success, and I just hope I'm not the one who's responsible for messing it up.
Well, Rob, if you're wishing me success, you're wishing yourself success.
Aha!
Do you see, huh? That's how that goes.
Doesn't have that type of drive. Rob doesn't.
No.
Wow, he is. Look at him today.
He just doesn't.
Oh, I forgot it's Wednesday.
Of course. He came in. First thing he said is, "You know what? You talk too loud." That's what he said to me.
Well, because he comes, hello, in the middle.
So what? I greeted you. I said hello. Big deal.
I know my job is to be funny, and I know our job is to bust each other's balls, but I have to be honest here.
Yes.
When I saw, and I was joking when Tony was in the room, when I saw that coordinated little social media campaign that we all did on our own, and who did the graphics? I want to give credit. Who did the graphics and got that done?
Greg Cox, one of our greatest P1 listeners. Greg Cox is the best.
And we put this thing up, and we do it in kind of a casual way, but it's an organized casual. And I just said, I said to myself, we have our I'm sorry, you're gonna have to edit. We have our shit together.
We do,
and it feels good to have that. And you know what? I know that it's gonna get better and better, and I'm really, really psyched. Listen, I'm talking to you from a room in Florida. For God's sakes, this is incredible, and the shows have been just as good. And Tony came in and his friend and all that, and I'm very positive about TMOS. And if that's not funny, then so be it. But I am extremely optimistic about the way things are going, and I just want to keep this particular show as funny as I can, and that's why I'll continue to go to the butt doctor, who I giggled like a girl in front of.
Not a butt thing.
Oh, excuse me, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. We'll take a break. Come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show. And congratulations again to Tony and Gary.
Yes.
It's going to be a great show. Check it out. As Oscar said, give them 5 stars.
Yeah.
All right? We'll be right back.
Every Monday, listen to the gut-wrenching, heart-twisting action on Americast. Get heart-pounding clips from the Mike O'Mara Show. Kick 411, Rob and Joe Show, and Cake and Cookies, the Rob and Katie Show. Hear fans of more broadcasting say tear apart through more broadcasting on iTunes, Stitcher, and of course, MikeOMaraShow.com. Catch the action. Americast, part of the More Broadcasting Network.
Thank you, Marcus Serta, and make sure you check out Americast. He does a great job with that. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of our program is brought to you by NatureBox. I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you. Are you ready for this?
Go.
You should be snacking more.
What?
You need to be snacking more.
What?
What's wrong with you, Mike, you idiot, you say? How can you tell me to snack more? I'm going to get fat. Not so. Here's what we have discovered. It's called NatureBox.com. NatureBox provides hundreds of delicious snacks, and I do mean delicious. Plus, you don't feel guilty about eating them because they're better for you. They're natural with 0 trans fat and 0 high fructose corn syrup. You'll even find snacks that are low on sugar, non-GMO and gluten-free, and free shipping is included. You know that crazy moment around 3 p.m. when you're ready to tear into anything?
Yeah.
Here's what you do. Grab some PB&J granola from NatureBox. Oscar, that's one of your faves,
Oh, I
isn't
love it. Absolutely love it.
Baked sweet potato fries or sweet blueberry almonds. No more hunger, no more crankiness. Now I'm going to make you really happy. Are you ready? If you try naturebox.com right now, you're going to get 50% off your first box. Just go to naturebox.com/TMOS. You should be snacking, but you have to snack smarter. Stay full, stay strong. Go to naturebox.com/TMOS to get 50% off your first box. naturebox.com/TMOS. That's naturebox.com/TMOS. Yum.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents news you may not need. A comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, news you may not need.
Some fairly reliable sources say CBS has found a replacement for Craig Ferguson on The Late Late Show. Have you heard about this one?
I actually have tape of him in the vault. We could play it now if you like.
Yeah, this is a British guy. Do you know this guy before you found the tape, Rob?
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
James Corden. He's pretty well known in the UK, in addition to being a comedian. He is a stage performer. My God, it's Gary Stein.
No, he's Gary Stein. Different accent.
He's a stage performer, singer, and writer who also created and starred in the popular British sitcom Gavin and Stacey. Some people watch the British stuff. I don't watch it over here.
He's you know. Of course, Craig Ferguson is a foreigner as well, but this guy is really British. I don't know how his accent will actually play in middle America. Here he is interviewing and having some fun with One Direction right after Justin Bieber was having all that trouble with the law a few months ago.
Now, listen, let's talk a little bit about Justin Bieber. I know you know him, Niall.
Zane, did you...
I've got a message for Justin.
Keep strong and keep doing what you're doing.
Well, don't keep doing what you're doing, Justin. That's ridiculous. Louis, that's the worst advice ever.
But he's got a pretty thick accent. I don't know how that'll play. What do you think?
I don't know, and nobody probably thought Craig Ferguson was going to do anything.
True,
and he was
true
funny.
enough.
I still miss him. God, he was a funny guy. So it's a shame he's gone. The FCC is reportedly investigating the Miley Cyrus concert special that NBC aired last month to determine if it violated any of their broadcasting rules.
Really?
Yes. Supposedly, they were hit with a slew of complaints from viewers about stripper costumes and other over-the-line sexual content. So
Over the line!
who cares, really? Do you even care about that? I probably shouldn't have put
I would investigate who watched it because I didn't even know it was on.
You know what I do care about?
What?
I care about this guy. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones.
Oh, yes, you have this.
Jerry Jones might have some explaining to do to his wife of 51 years.
Oh, no.
Because, you see, photos surfaced yesterday of Jerry having fun with a pair of much younger women. In one picture, he's standing behind a girl cupping her breasts. Yeah, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry Jones.
Well,
there
then,
you
hey.
go.
These pictures scream of just a good time.
Yeah, he was partying his ass off. That man was loaded. I've been there, seen that. I know that guy. Yes, sir. He was loaded.
I was wondering if I could cup your breast.
I have a picture here. Listen, I can explain the picture of me cupping the girl's breast, but in another picture, there's a girl on her knees with her side of her face pushed right up against my crotch.
Oh, that's
my
never.
dear.
Oh, no. That is not okay.
Maybe she fell.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Honey, come on over here. Let's take this picture, huh? Yeah, let's take that. How about a little selfie right here? Oh, no, down a little lower. Yeah, now lean into it. Yeah, we call that cowboy style. Yeah.
Jerry
There we
Jones
go.
says to the girl, "Does this pocket smell funny to you?"
Jerry Jones. So, that's the type of story you'll see it today.
Oh, I can't
Probably
wait.
there will be nothing else about
I
it.
want
because-
more pictures.
more
That
pictures.
man knows how to party.
Then you have to wonder what happened later, Jerry. Yeah. I'm sure someone gets attacked with mace every day in this country, but this is the first time that we've heard of someone getting attacked with a real mace.
Oh, like the medieval tool?
Like the mace.
weapon?
We're not talking about the spray. We're talking about the spiked metal ball.
Oh, my God.
On a stick. Yeah.
Wow.
You might have seen it at medieval times, don't you know?
Of course.
A 41-year-old guy was sitting at a park in Baltimore, Maryland on Thursday.
Hello.
4 teenagers walked up and demanded his cell phone. When he wouldn't give it up, they hit him in the face with a medieval mace.
You know,
We
that's
shouldn't
what
be
you
laughing
get.
at this.
Yeah, it is.
I know.
That's what you get for being a dick.
The guy took it like a champ and even got up to chase the kids. They end up getting away, and he went to the hospital with holes in his ear and jaw.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so he really got messed up with this. The cops don't have any suspects yet. I'm blaming Marty Bass.
Look for some 10-year-old in a suit of armar.
Right.
That's the worst.
Well,
I
you
mean, how do you
started your-
explain that to your family?
Be a
Like
little
I
rough,
got beat
you know.
up by a medieval tool.
Yeah, some
So to speak,
13-year-old
you know?
wielding a mace. You know, I wonder. Probably in some of those knife shops you see in the mall.
Yeah.
they sell all that crap. I remember there was one up in Bar Harbor where they had all that crap in the window. Do you remember
I
that?
used to own Chinese stars.
Yeah. They
mean like
sell
Jackie
this
Chan?
crap.
Yes, I would. Oh my god! And my parent, we grew up in a townhouse. I would go out to the the long fence that was in the back, and I'd whirl those things in my ninja outfit.
Yeah,
right at the fence.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I made pipe bombs. So I mean, it's fine.
You see these stores, you know people. It's like, excuse me, do you have a real Game of Thrones lance for me, please? Anyway, you heard it here first. Justin Bieber saves lives. You ready for this one?
Oh no.
I hope I get the name pronunciation correct here. 42-year-old Igor Vorozipsin is a fisherman in northern Russia, and he was out fishing last week when a giant brown bear jumped him from behind.
Oh no!
The
Look out for bear.
bear started mauling him, slashing face and chest. But just as bear was about to land death blow, Igor's phone rang, and his ringtone was Baby Baby by Justin Bieber. It was loud enough that it startled the bear and made him run away. That's right. Run away, big scary bear. I Play Baby by Justin Bieber. There's nothing specific about his music that makes it particularly good at repelling bear. Basically, any loud noise could have knocked bear and made him run. It was Bieber, so he gets credit. So way to go with the ringtone.
He needs some good press. I think it's about time.
That's right. Way to go, Russia. If you're rooting for the home team, it's a great thing and all, but sometimes a game is made by the opponent, and the right opponent can certainly affect attendance and ticket prices for the host city. Someone calculated just how much each NFL team changes the prices on the secondary ticket market when they visit another stadium. At the top of the lists, what team do you think is at the top of the heap?
Cowboys.
I would say the Patriots.
That is incorrect. At the top of the list, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh.
Wow.
When they hit up another city, they drive the resale value of tickets up an average of 44.9%.
Jeez.
You know, it's not just secondary sellers. Do you remember back when the Wizards were really, really doing bad? We had ads on WJFK that said, "How would you like to see the Bulls play basketball?
Yep. I
Call the
remember that.
Wizards."
Wow.
That was how pathetic they were. They actually had a Bulls commercial
Oh my
in Washington to
God.
get people to go out and see the Wizards.
Jeez.
44.9%. They're followed by the Steelers, Packers, Broncos, and the aforementioned Cowboys. So you were close, Oscar. On the other end of the spectrum, the Jacksonville Jaguars drive prices down.
Yeah, our prices are insane.
They drive prices down by 21.5%. And even though they were a good team last year, the Arizona Cardinals are almost as bad, 21.4%. Rounding out the bottom five are the Buccaneers. They drive tickets down 19.4%. Sorry, Jimmy. The Buffalo Bills. I'm surprised because they have such a loyal fan base, but they're
but none of
they're
them have
small
any
in number.
money.
How dare you?
It'll be okay.
Yeah, the Bills drive ticket prices down 16.7%, but the beer's good. And the Rams drive them down 15.6%. There you go. And now a little something for you boys.
Yes.
The police in Oregon City, Oregon got a call on Saturday afternoon. Someone had spotted a guy standing on the banks of the Willamette River, naked and vigorously fondling himself.
Pony.
Jeez.
Sorry. Pony.
Matt Bloom.
No, it was not Matt Bloom. The cops headed to the scene, and when they got there, 31-year-old Ernest Michael Kirk was indeed going to town on himself.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But just as they were approaching, he fell into the river.
Oh, into the river.
So the cops quickly had to pivot from a public indecency arrest to a rescue mission.
Oh, no.
The sheriff's office Marine unit joined them on the scene, and they were able to rescue Ernest, pull him into a boat, and get him to a hospital. Hey, Vern. They believe he was on some kind of drugs. You think?
Could be.
Let me see. He was charged with felony public indecency and harassment. So they did get the guy on the river, but I bet during the rescue you never heard this. Hold on to this pole!
Oh, no!
We'll take a break. Come back with the Audio Vault and Rob Spiewak right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
If I have to go, you'll be thinking of...
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This portion of our show brought to you by, as it has been all week, our good friends at Encore.
Yes.
Now you know that you need to have life insurance, but you keep stalling, right? Well, there's no time like the present. Get her done. The future is now. And don't worry, because Encore Insurance is here to help you. Encore surveys the most highly rated companies in the insurance industry to compare premiums. They'll do all the work so you don't have to. It's all free. There's no obligation and no salesman will visit you. Do us a favor. Give Encore a try, won't you please? Not just for us, but for you. Call toll-free 866-347-5748 to get a free life insurance quote. If you prefer computers, just visit smartterm.com. That's SMARTTERM.com. ARTTERM.com. That's where you'll find the license, disclaimer, and quality customer service. Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Stop paying too much for life insurance. Protect your family the smart way at smartterm.com. Oh, wrong sound effect. Let's
Better.
open up the audio vault for Wednesday, August 6, 2014. Take it away, Rob.
Mike, when you're up in Wayne County, Pennsylvania, do you still get all your news from WNEP 16?
Oh, the NEP. I love the NEP.
It's a great station. Actually, this is a really cute tape. It was all over social media. It's a kid. His name is Noah Ritter. And he was at the county fair, and he rode a thrill ride, and they wanted to interview him.
Yeah.
And he just took the microphone from the reporter's
You know, whenever
hands.
you say whenever you say his name is it Noah?
Noah Ritter, yeah.
I always have to just pay tribute to Bill Cosby whenever you say that.
Noah.
Sorry. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I had to do that. All right,
What's
go
a
ahead.
cubit? So
Build it 50. Okay, we're doing a whole Cosby album. I'm sorry.
Okay, stop it. The greatest thing, this kid is 5, but he's really smart, but he keeps using the word apparently. He just hijacks live television.
What did you think about the ride?
It was great. And apparently, I've never been on live television before, but apparently sometimes I don't watch I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, and apparently every time, Grandpa just gives me a remote after we watch the Powerball.
What did you think about the ride?
Well, it was great.
Why?
Because apparently you're spinning around, and apparently every time you get dizzy, that's all you do is get dizzy.
Is it fun?
Yeah. And I've never, ever been on live television. I never, ever be on live television.
Are you excited?
Yeah, and apparently I already went down the super slide. When I went down alone, I was scared half to death. I just freak out.
He's a great kid.
I love that.
Is that the little red-haired kid? Is
yeah,
that who that
yeah,
is?
it is.
Okay,
It is.
yeah.
It's very, very funny. Apparently, now Oscar,
Apparently.
can you name this song?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the answer is sort of in the first verse there.
Oh, I love this.
But here's something, Mike, that perhaps
Splinter.
you did not know. Oscar, have you ever heard of the name Chuck Lorre?
Yes.
He produced
He was
and
the
created
producer for 2 1/2 Men.
and The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before he was a hotshot TV producer, he wrote, produced, and sang the theme to Teenage Mutant
This
Ninja
is
Turtles.
him?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
That's probably where he got the money to be the bigwig TV producer.
Probably. And actually, he actually had a pretty funny story, Mike. Apparently, he had a great time recording it because of the time they had to book at the recording studio. They actually shared a studio with Journey. Forgive me, I'm sorry, Journey.
We got a recording studio in Los Angeles that was at the time being used by Journey to record an album, and we got the studio from midnight to 8 a.m., which is the cheapest hours you can buy. It's just, and all their equipment was, spread out. All this great big touring stadium equipment was all over the studio, and we're in there recording the Turtles theme song at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it worked.
How sad is that they're surrounded, Journey in their heyday, and they're surrounded by all Journey's equipment, and this is what they do.
That is so cool.
Isn't that pretty cool?
And the movie's going to expose that to a whole new generation, right?
Yeah, now I was talking to the boys before the show. I never got into it because it occurred after I was of that age. But Oscar was into it.
Nobody knows about the secret of the ooze.
Who was your favorite, Donatello or
I like
Michelangelo?
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
I figured you would. Michelangelo.
And I'll see the new movie, though. It looks atrocious. It's been rebooted a few times, but I'm excited. I'm on Mark.
Yeah, at least you got Megan Fox going.
Yeah,
for you, right?
That's actually a pretty good. That's a reason to bring people in. Now, the talk yesterday had Roseanne in as a guest, and in an early season of the Roseanne show, George Clooney was a regular, and then he left, and of course he went on to become George Clooney that we know now. But he left a wonderful going away gift. Now, Mike, do you remember one of your first encounters with the show King of Queens? There was a picture of you and Don on the refrigerator for most of a season.
They did it to schmooze people. It was a little trick. If you look at all sitcoms, and really, to be honest with you, you never see it.
You don't. You can't.
It's crazy.
But what George Clooney left on the refrigerator was not what you left.
George took a picture of his wiener. I don't know. What's the better word?
Penis.
Yeah, penis.
Private parts.
And he had this Groucho glasses, and he put the Groucho glasses so that
on his penis.
Yeah, the wiener was instead of the nose, he took the nose off.
Apparently, it was there for about 2 days before it disappeared. Roseanne says she has no idea who has the picture, but it was taken. And if you imagine, the glasses would fit right. They would just serve as the nose.
Yep,
Isn't
absolutely.
That's Mike? Isn't that something?
Go watch the Groove Tube, and you'll see that when they have the.
I hadn't thought of that in a long time.
I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think it's a VD commercial. If you go to YouTube and you look up GrooveTube / I don't know, look GrooveTube penis, you might be able to see it because it is. And I saw it in the theater.
And
That's
long
how
did it
old
take?
I am.
It takes a long time for you to really realize what you're seeing.
It takes an eternity. They do this incredibly slow pan in,
Oh, my
and then
God.
you realize that the eyes, it's an upside down penis, and that
This is
and
in
it's
the
shaking
theater?
as it's
Yes,
talking.
yeah.
It was in the theater.
Oh.
The Groove Tube.
Different
I
time.
think Chevy Chase, when he
Yeah.
was a child,
Yeah,
was in
one,
this.
like one of his first projects.
Really had little moments that were absolutely hysterical.
Very, very important in the creation of shows like Saturday Night Live.
Right.
We leave, Mike, one of my...
Look at Rob Ford going out of his mouth.
he's
trying to
giggling.
find this
He
clip.
loves penis jokes. One of my greatest regrets in life, Mike, I should have never signed up for LinkedIn.
LinkedIn has agreed to pay a $6 million settlement to employees. Unfortunately, the employees haven't heard about it because, like everyone else, they automatically delete all emails from LinkedIn.
That's your magic audio vault, Mike. Have a great Wednesday, everybody, and welcome aboard Tony and Gary.
Hey, that's great, and I think you're going to love that show. And as Oscar said, make sure you go, you check it out. Oscar, what can people do for that show?
Get on iTunes, subscribe, and leave a nice 5-star review. That's 1, 2. You can listen to it at TonyPerkinsShow.com. So those are the two places, iTunes and TonyPerkinsShow.com.
All right, good stuff. Check it out. You will love it. Hey, tomorrow is our legendarily popular Thursday mailbag segment. Drop a line to the Jolly One. Do it today. How you doing? Can you use any more?
You know what I need? I need an opener and a kicker, so really light me up.
All right, we need the really funny stuff to come to the Jolly One.
Don't
Rob
send
Spiewak.
Rob dick pics.
That's right. No doubt.
You're
He'll
a
take it.
jerk!
Rob at MikeO'MaraShow.com. That's ROBB at MikeO'MaraShow.com. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying, see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Now that the show's over, remember to go to naturebox.com and order great tasting healthy snacks at 50% off. Snack smarter in the new year with healthy and delicious treats like French toast granola. Support this podcast and get 50% off your first order. Go to naturebox.com and use promo code TMOS. That's naturebox.com, promo code TMOS.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.